In my last video, I let Chance decide the books I was going to bring with me on vacation. It was an epic fail, read none of those. These are the books in question. But let me tell you what book I did read on vacation. After I finally finished packing, I decided I want to do my nails. Then I finally laid down and decided that I was going to check into the flight. Thank God that I did that, because we had to do this ginormous Verify application to verify our identity with our scanning our face and scanning our passport. And then you had to go and apply for a form saying which resort that you were staying at, how long you were going to be in the country. And then once you finally finished all these details of the flight and where you're flying out from, where you're flying to, and all of this information, then you could go back to the Verify app, scan a QR code, then you can check into your flight. I feel like somewhere in the booking process, when we were booking this on Expedia, that should have been mentioned. I dragged myself out of bed, scanned my passport, did this whole application, then told my boyfriend to get his passport to do the same thing. And I got a grand total of 2 hours of sleep before we had to drive to Chicago. But all in all, that was fine. The whole process of going through security and doing all the check-in stuff was perfectly fine, perfectly smooth. We get there and we have to rescan our form to enter, and mine doesn't work. So they manually have to stamp me in and out of the Dominican Republic. Have never had that experience before. My friend Debbie said that we probably will have to do a similar thing when we go to London in September. And now I feel quite prepared. We can talk a little bit about Taming 7, since I did listen to about 50% of it while I was packing and getting ready. I have no clips of that because I was very stressed. The last thing on my mind was filming. But if you did not know, Taming 7 is the 5th book in the Boys of Tommen series. This book is about Claire and Gibbsy. Gibbsy is a rugby player and Claire is his childhood best friend / his lifelong crush. They are always flirting with each other. They're always having a great time. And we see little glimpses of them. Mainly the first 2 books, Binding and Keeping 13. Not so much in the next 2 because those are Joey and Aoife's book. In these books, we follow a group of friends. Half of them are rugby players and the other half are family and friends of said rugby players. Good morning. I am on vacation with my boyfriend in Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic. The UV is 6. It's beautiful outside. We're about to go to the pool. I'm going to get some reading done. In my most recent video, we picked out some books that I was going to read on vacation. So far, I am continuing Taming 7. I'm listening to that. And So Very Lucky by Caitlin Delvin. It's about a girl, Stevie, who used to date this famous pop star, Callie. And they broke up maybe like 10 years ago, and something happens at one of Callie's performances where she falls from this platform, and essentially her fans think she fell to her death. And she makes a reappearance on social media, and Stevie's like, I don't think that's her. Callie's PR team reaches out to her and says that Callie wants to talk to her. They reconnect, and then Stevie finds something out, and we're kind of just following along the rest of the story there. I'm enjoying it. It's kind of in a slow spot. I'm around like 40% into it. Right now, Stevie is at Callie's house reading Callie's diaries and kind of getting a perspective on what Callie's been going through in those 10 years that they haven't been connected. So it's kind of interesting, but it's also kind of slow. We're just kind of discovering how she's feeling, but nothing's really happening in the present tense. It's all in the past. Probably going to continue reading this at the pool, but it is really sunny, and even though it's my Kindle, sometimes it's really hard to read on the screen still, so I might be listening to a little bit of Taming 7. On my Kindle is my Kindle Charm. It is handmade by myself, and they are available for purchase on my website, Book Nut Collective. They are $12, and they come with the loop here. I don't know if you can really see, but this one is called Summer Cowboy. I have maybe like 4 or 5 different designs, and I will check back in with you in a little while. Hi, checking in. I'm about 60% through, so very lucky. I started around like 40% at the beach. We were there for a couple hours, and now we're back. We showered. We're gonna go to the gym in a little bit. We went and got lunch. Cam got a veggie burger. I got some barbecue chicken wings. And we came back to the room. We showered. We're about to go to the gym in a little bit. I'll probably read while I'm on the treadmill. Then we're gonna come back, get ready for dinner. We did get a bottle of wine and some chocolates from the resort. So we'll probably enjoy those after dinner. I'm very excited for that. Stevie's starting to make an appearance back in Kelly's life, and it's just been kind of interesting to see how things waver, like watching her rationalize not telling her family and her friends where she is, staying in Callie's house, all these things. So I'm really enjoying it so far. I think I'm leaning towards a 4-star right now. I don't even know what genre you would call this. So I'm gonna continue reading this. I will check back in with you when I have more thoughts or when I finish the book. Hello, good morning. I am touching base one more time before we head back. Our flight is at 3 p.m. It's about 11 o'clock. I have only been reading one book this entire trip, and that is So Very Lucky by Caitlin Delvin. I think that I'm just reading it slowly because I'm enjoying it. I feel like maybe I'll give this 3.75 stars right now unless something else happens in the next 20 or so percent. I read last night and I am about 82%. I'm a little concerned with where things are going. Overall, I've enjoyed, and I will be reading today while we wait for our flight. And if I end up finishing this, I will try to give a review for the coordinator for it. I did bring Butcher and Leopard and The Giver along with me, and I found 2 books. One was an audiobook from Libby, and the other one was an ebook from Libby. So I do have my Kindle that I can read those on. If I do end up finishing this, I will read something else. So I'll see you when I see you. I went into this vacation knowing that it was a trip for my boyfriend's birthday, and I was gonna spend a majority of my time with him and not a whole lot of time reading by the pool. I ended up reading So Very Lucky by Caitlin Delvin, 3 stars, and here's why. This book I think is a thriller of some kind. I didn't really look at the genre. I didn't look at any reviews. I just read the premise and dove in. This book is about our female main character, Stevie, and her obsession with her pop star ex, Calista. In the beginning of the book, Stevie is watching Calista perform, and she gives Stevie a shout out, which is a little odd because they haven't seen each other in maybe about almost 10 years. Since then, Stevie has been tagged in all these posts by her fans. She keeps tabs on her. She has an obsession. In this video of this performance, Calista is on a platform above the crowd singing. A crane is like bringing her over the crowd, and all of a sudden one of the support beams breaks and she falls to her death. Jaw on the floor. Like, watching that was probably so traumatizing for not only Stevie, her fans, for everyone, because she's this huge pop star and she just fell. And we saw another clip of her leaving the venue on a gurney. It has been multiple days. There's been radio silence. No one knows if she's dead, if she's alive, or what. And then a couple days later, she just takes a selfie casually and is just like, hey, all's good. And Stevie's like, I don't think that's her. I think her management team is lying. Like, I don't know where Calista is, but this isn't her. There's all these conspiracy pages that are coming up with all of these theories on what happened to Calista. Is she alive? Is she dead? Is this a clone? What's going on? And I thought that premise sounded really good. It had so much potential. By the middle of the book, we were dragging. I wanted to DNF so bad. But I was like, I think something's gonna happen. I think something's gonna happen and it's gonna redeem the book. And it didn't. But I was still very invested in like what was going to happen for a majority of the book. It was just like that period that it was dragging. I was like, I don't really want to finish this book. Like, I don't want to pick up this book. I have no desire to grab it and read it. And that feeling on vacation was not a good one. So I was kind of in like a mini slump because I didn't want to read anything else until I finished it. But I didn't want to read it because it was really slow. I did most of my reading the 4th day of vacation. It was Saturday. Ended up having a pool day. And I was just like, all I want to do is read on the beach and tan and soak up the sun. Try to finish this book. I got to like 82%. And I ended up finishing it the night that we got home. Like this video if you can relate to making a TBR and not sticking to it. Comment down below if you've read either of these 2 books, and subscribe to see me read the books I actually was gonna bring on vacation. Bye.